From PRX, it's... This week, comedian Paul F. Tompkins.
I saw an ad for a squirrel picnic table, and it brought me so much joy every single time. It's the same thing over and over again. It's a squirrel coming, taking a nut out of the thing, sitting on the bench and eating it. It was the absolute best. I never got tired of it. It's like, he's sitting at the bench like a person.
With music from Meklit and our fabulous house band. I'm your announcer, Elena Passarello, and now, the host of Livewire, Luke Burbank.
Hey, thank you so much, Elena Passarello. Thanks to everyone tuning in from all over the country to this week's Livewire. We have a great show in store for you this week, including maybe one of the worst lapses in judgment that I've ever made on stage, and that's really saying something. It involves a balloon full of glitter, which I'm still finding pieces of in my laptop computer to this day, Elena.
Well, I mean, I could think of worse places to still be finding glitter, so
well, that is
count your
true.
Blessings.
Before we get to all that, though, of course, we got to kick things off like we always do with the best news that we heard all week. This is our little reminder that there is, in fact, good news happening out there. You got to get up pretty early, and you got to really commit yourself to the process of finding it. And that's what we do, and we found some. Elena, what is the best news you heard all week?
Okay, I heard this great story about an Uber driver in Victorville, California, named Diana Morales. She's been driving Uber part-time for 3 years. She's a mom of 2. She's in her late 20s and likes the job. And last November, she picked up a 92-year-old resident named Leroy Burdick. She drove him to church. Leroy is a 92-year-old widower, and he can't drive anymore, but he is in great shape. Master conversationalist, apparently, and his daughter books him Ubers when he needs to go to church or to choir practice, which is very important to him, or golfing, which is his other passion. And so he's in Diana's car, and they strike up a conversation. And I guess by the time they get to church, she is just bowled over by this amazing man and how fun he is to talk to and what a sweetie pie he is. So she gives him her phone number, and she's like, hey, anytime you need a ride, just give me a call. And that was, almost a year ago. And she takes him to golf, to church, to run errands. His church going schedule changed to a day where she's not driving. So their paths weren't necessarily supposed to cross anymore. But who cares? She still finds reasons to pick him up and drive him around. She's not even charging him anymore. He's like slipping money to her when he can, but like a total grandpa move or whatever. She just loves him. She says that, I learned from him that I can have family that isn't my blood relation. I can love someone like a family member. And she's introduced him to her family, and now Leroy takes her 8-year-old son golfing, got him golf lessons and his first set of clubs, and a couple of times a month, usually on Sundays, they go on these outings as a new kind of 21st century blended family, which I just think is such a lovely story and makes me want to drive Uber so I can make more nonagenarian friends.
Love it. By the way, total violation of Uber policy to give your personal phone number out, and I love it. I think
Is it really?
Oh yeah, they don't like that, but I listen. Uber can handle it.
Yeah.
The best news that I heard all week involves a college student named Lauren Choi, who was at Johns Hopkins University recently. And what do you know about being in college? But the college kids, they like to party, right? And what is like the classic sign the day after there has been raging in a college environment? It's all of those red Solo cups.
Oh yes, the ubiquitous. They're so ubiquitous that when people overseas throw American college parties, that's like that's like the party favor is that you have to have red Solo cups.
There's also nothing more sad than it's the day after and you're just going around stacking up these cups, many of which still have some amount of alcohol in them. And there's, Lauren thought there's got to be something that we could do with these red Solo cups because they're getting thrown out and they're plastic and they're going to waste. So she had this idea, well, maybe you could actually put them into something called an extruder machine, which could then basically spin the plastic from these Solo cups into a filament yarn. Now, it turns out that machine is very expensive, and Lauren Choi is a college student, so she didn't have it. She tried to build one in her parents' garage.
Oh, I love this person.
It's some real Doc Brown from Back to the Future energy. It was not successful. Her homemade extruder machine did not work, but she was undaunted. She figured out everything else about the system of taking these Solo cups and then turning them into this filament yarn so then they could be spun into fashion, into like sweaters and stuff. But she still needed the machine. So guess who bought her the machine? The Reynolds Consumer Products Company, the parent company of Hefty, the largest producer of plastic Solo cups in America.
Hey, how did they figure out about Lauren? Did she get in touch with them?
She received grant funding from some part of the Reynolds Consumer Products grant situation. It's a pretty big company. They probably do a lot of that stuff.
Cool.
And so this is sort of a match made in heaven. Now, she's got this extruder machine, and she has now started this company that's really successful. It's called New Norm. And basically what they do is they take all these Solo cups and they get them all together down in North Carolina and Virginia, and they shred them up, and then they turn them into this filament yarn. Now, here's the reason that filament yarn is important in this. It is less likely to shed microplastics. So if you turned it into regular spun yarn, that would continue to shed the microplastics, and that's a big problem. We all know. So they ship all of this yarn then up to a factory in Brooklyn where they do this 3D knitting, where they knit these sweaters. And I've been looking at pictures of these sweaters. They're amazing looking, and they come in all these different colors. Yellow, green, blue, pink. Guess what, Elena? They don't have to use any artificial dyes to make the sweaters these colors because that's the color that the Solo cups were.
So not just a red Solo cup. You could get Solo cups in multiple hues, and they're using that to make these vibrantly colored sweaters.
Yes. Any color that a Solo cup could be that was then used, then thrown away, or in this case, not thrown away, but recycled, could become a fashionable sweater from this company. They retail for between $45 and $85, which
not bad.
Honestly, not bad at all. So making use out of red Solo cups, that's the best news that I've heard all week. All right, our first guest is a comedian, actor, and writer who might have the longest IMDb page in history, at least the longest one that I've seen. It's 177 credits, including as an Emmy-nominated writer on Mr. Show, as the host of the Best Week Ever show, and the voice of Mr. Peanut Butter on the Netflix animated series BoJack Horseman. The LA Times calls him a mix of Mark Twain, old-timey radio entertainer, and vaudeville actor for the internet age. He is none other than Paul F. Tompkins. Now, Elaine, I have to tell the listeners, when Paul came on stage, we thought it might be possible, and we haven't verified it, but it's close enough for us, that Paul was going to become the most frequent guest in Livewire history, at least as of this appearance.
Yes, he has to be.
And I wanted us to celebrate it by doing something fun on stage, like popping a balloon full of confetti.
Oh, this I remember very well.
And over us, and my computer, and many of the people in the front row. So it's kind of chaotic for radio. You're going to hear a balloon popping and a lot going on, but just wanted to give you some context. This is Paul F. Tompkins on Livewire, recorded at the Alberta Rose Theater. Check it out.
Hello.
Paul, do you realize that with your appearance on this episode of Livewire, you have now set the record for most guest appearances in the history of Livewire radio?
Wow.
That was so much more glitter than I thought it was going to be,
it's
Paul.
a lot.
I
It's a
really
lot.
apologize.
You sprung for the big glitter, too. That's nice.
I'm
Not
gonna
the little stuff.
Now, for those listening on the radio, Paul is, as always, just absolutely fabulously turned out in a beautiful three-piece suit that is now absolutely covered in glitter.
It feels good.
Sometimes described as the herpes of the art world. Because it will be with you for the rest of your life.
It's an insidious creation. It's true.
It really is.
I like that there's a fleck of glitter inside your glasses.
I can see it. I'm keeping it in there.
Today, I thought it would be really fun if we could celebrate Paul's accomplishment and if we could have a little confetti drop.
Paul, you are the most available of anyone we've ever booked on the show.
And then I said, well, why don't we get a balloon full of glitter? And after saying that, almost every person along the way indicated it was a bad idea. Elena said, are you going to get clearance from Paul about getting it on his fine suit? Our photographer said, is Paul a veteran? Will the bursting of the balloon possibly
Good point.
possibly be jarring for him?
I'm not a veteran, but I do steal valor.
Yes. By the way, do not, and under any circumstances, drink your show-provided water. It's more confetti than liquid at this point. You do have, I have to say, Paul, though, in looking over your credits and like particularly with the show Comedy Bang Bang and now with us on Livewire, you are so prolific. Do you just have more energy than some people? Is this like, how do you account for this?
I mean, I think I just like to do stuff. I think it's really just that simple. And I do get myself into a situation where I'm doing too many things at the same time. And but I had a turning point after quarantine when I was doing a bunch of shows. I think it was the Comedy Bang Bang tour. And I think I had told myself that I didn't like traveling around and having to do a show in a different place every night. And then I suddenly realized I love this. This is absolutely this is all I ever wanted to do when I was a kid, and now I'm doing it. Thank you so much. And then it became... I would have respected it. I was brought...
I forgot we had a backup balloon.
I have to
apologize.
respect it. I have to respect it.
Speaking of touring around, I want to ask you about Varietopia, this amazing variety show that you're taking around. First, though, and I say this a lot on the show, and I rarely mean it, but we do need to take a break. I mean it this time, because we need to hose Paul F. Tompkins down.
No,
and
I refuse. I refuse to be cleaned up.
Clean the entire...
I'm getting in the Uber like this.
So we are going to take a very quick break here on Livewire. Back with more in just a moment. Hey, welcome back to Livewire from PRX. We are at the Alberta Rose Theater in Portland, Oregon this week. We are talking to the fabulous Paul F. Tompkins from Varietopia and so many other things. So you're out touring your variety show. Can you tell the audience kind of what's a typical night look like? What do you guys tend to do?
We will have we have a band that we travel with. It's a 4-piece band. It's the classic 4-piece setup. It is guitar, drums, sousaphone, and trumpet.
Rock and roll.
And the band plays on their own. We have a musical guest who does a couple songs. I do a stand-up monologue. I'm getting back into stand-up again. It's been quite a while. I took like a long break from stand-up, but I'm slowly learning how to do it again. I'm still good at it.
Yeah.
I don't want, if anybody comes to the show, I don't want them to go in thinking he's still learning how to do it. I remembered. And then we have what I call a variety act, which is something that's neither comedy nor music. And we try to always include that on every show.
One thing I was struck by watching various video of the show is that you sing a lot. You have a lovely singing voice.
Thank you.
It's not a bit, per se. Like, I saw that you were singing an Olivia Rodrigo song.
Yes.
Vampire.
Yes.
And
it's a great
like,
song.
You
Hard
just
to
like,
sing.
you and the band just knocked it out of the park. But I was kind of waiting for where there became like an Olivia Rodrigo joke or something. It was just a good-ass song that you were performing.
Aren't we tired of all these Olivia Rodrigo jokes? Let's move on. It's funny, when I've been doing the show in one form or another since 2002, and when I first started doing the show, I would add jokes into the songs. So I do a song with the musical guest, and it felt sort of, I don't know, I think I was worried about seeming self-indulgent or, whatever, and I wouldn't really sing to the fullest extent of my ability, and I felt like I wasn't allowed to. And then as time went on, I realized, it will actually be better if I do the best I can at this thing that I can do. And it's more fun to have it be unexpected that it sounds good than to have me do a joke, which is more predictable. So then I started getting more and more comfortable with it, and then eventually I would every once in a while sing a song on my own. And no. This is like Deadwood or something. Start shooting at my feet.
Yeah. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I've got a third balloon under here, and it has the name of a song in it. Well, that's the thing, though, because I feel like singing earnestly is such a different way of being on stage than doing comedy.
100%.
Where there's no irony there. And I'm wondering, was that hard for you to get to at a certain point?
That was the hardest part because it is vulnerable. Comedian singing is always very dicey because for me, this might resonate with older listeners, but Joe Piscopo is always the example that I go to.
Sure.
It was a guy who had no business releasing an album, but did.
Yeah.
And
he did.
So that had always been in the back of my mind. And then I realized, like, I would rather run towards something like that I'm afraid of and try to do it than forever be running away from it.
Yeah.
And it was very freeing. I want to surprise the audience as much as possible.
Yeah.
We never say who the guests are going to be on the show. And so when you come, you're going to see something that you didn't know what it was going to be, but you're going to maybe discover somebody new that you're now a fan of, or you're going to see something that I've never done before. We just want it to be as in the moment and as exciting for people as possible.
There's another character that frequently appears on the Varietopia tour, which is a possum, or a video of a possum. Can you explain the origins of this video?
Absolutely. So I saw an ad for a squirrel picnic table. Comes with a little umbrella and everything. Looks like a picnic bench. And I said, I have to get that. And then I have to get a nature cam and have it stationed to always capture the squirrels eating the hazelnuts. And it brought me so much joy every single time. It's the same thing over and over again. It's a squirrel coming, taking a nut out of the thing, sitting on the bench and eating it. It was the absolute best. I never got tired of it. It's like, he's sitting at the bench like a person. It was always good. But then also, there's the night shift. If the squirrels have left any hazelnuts behind, then you get your raccoons and your possums coming out. And I had this I capture this possum sitting at the bench and eating hazelnuts, and he's just sitting there chewing for such a long time. And it looked like he was talking. So I started... I used this footage so many times. I just have the possum saying different things. And I pitched the voice up a little bit, and it works for me every time.
Well, there's this trend that's been going around of late of like dudes calling their male friends to wish them good night and putting it on speakerphone.
It's so funny
to like hear the reaction from their male friend. And there is a great video of you calling the possum to wish it good night.
Yeah. Because the friend is always, there's always a pause. The guys, they make small talk for a second, and the guy says, okay, well, I just wanted to wish you good night. And then there's always a pause, and then the guy on the other end of the phone is like, what? And so, like the weekend that this was going viral, we had a show coming up at our home at Lodge Room in Los Angeles. And so I said, I gotta do this. And I got the very funny Vinny Thomas. Vinny is a comedian who like pushes that button in me. Like his stuff is so silly and so funny. And I've had him on the show a bunch of times. And I said, will you be the voice of this possum? We'll just do a Zoom call, and then I'm gonna put the footage in, later. And so we just improvised this scene where I call up the possum to say goodnight, and he's confused. And then it gets deeper into our relationship.
Yes. You have a robust Wikipedia page, Paul.
Well, thank you.
And but even as somebody with a fairly puny Wikipedia page myself, some of the facts can get a little squishy. You'd never know what people are going to put up there. I wanted to read a little bit from your Wikipedia page and just fact check this with you.
Okay.
Tompkins' stand-up comedy performances are of a storytelling and observationalist style. His shows often consist of extended riffs. There's so much glitter on this computer screen.
A little hard to see.
I'm gonna also reveal I have one piece of glitter in my throat right now. Yeah.
Tompkins deals with topics of the bizarre and the absurd, such as a rant about peanut brittle. Can you confirm that you have a rant about peanut brittle?
I confirm that I did have a rant about peanut brittle.
Okay.
That's my greatest hit, the peanut brittle bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Also,
it is the bit that most people will.
Oh, okay. Well, we
mention
won't
to me.
bore them with that then. In addition to recounting stories about his own life experience and family, his comedic style has been described as alternative comedy. Tompkins has stated that he is not bothered by that label and that he likes the term. Can you confirm that you...
I'm not bothered by that, and I like it.
Citation.
Yeah. Tompkins is known for his style of dress during the comedic performances, always performing in a suit and tie, sometimes in pinstripes and with a bow tie. His look has been described by some in the press as dapper. There's 4 citations for that.
It's true.
I've
been dapper at least 4 times.
Tompkins has described his own look as, quote, foppish and, quote, just this side of Cedric the Entertainer.
I did say that once, yeah. That's true.
Now, as I was writing these questions out to ask you about, Paul, my computer, the AI that is built into my computer, this is a very real thing, kept trying to offer to write the questions for me.
Oh.
Yeah, truly dark stuff. So I decided to let it, and it wrote 5 questions. It asked me, this is an actual thing from my actual computer,
Fantastic.
which may never work again with this glitter, but that's fine. It said, hello, I see you're writing some questions. You want me to help you? And I said, okay. And they said, is it going to be a live event? And I said, yes. And it wrote, this is from the computer. Great. Here's a version of the 5 questions tailored for a live event setting, designed to feel conversational, keep the energy up, and encourage audience engagement. Paul, your characters are absolutely wild, in the best way.
Oh, in the best way.
When you're coming up with someone like Andrew Lloyd Webber or Cake Boss, how much of that is planned and how much is you just letting loose? Now, what ChatGPT fails to understand is that these are improvised characters, correct?
Right, that's right.
How much of it is planned and how much is you just letting loose, Paul?
I would say it's 1% planning and then 101% letting loose.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Sorry.
Let's talk style. You're one of the best dressed people in comedy. Was that a conscious decision early on, or did it just evolve naturally? Now, here's the problem. I believe I've asked you that question in appearances past.
Oh, everyone's
all
asked me
on my own stupid brain.
It is the number one question that people ask.
Really?
Yes.
Is that annoying, or have you just learned to? Hey, Paul, if you could time travel back to give advice to young Paul F. Tompkins, just getting started in comedy, what would you tell him? And would he listen? Actually, I don't think the end of that question is the worst.
No, it's not.
That's actually kind of good.
I'll take the second part first. No.
Is it maybe the thing about authenticity? I mean, I know we're talking about it in the context of music, but the idea that, now I'm going to answer the question for you. But you were talking about singing as part of Varietopia, and how like it's more interesting and more surprising for you just to do your best job singing the song. And I wonder if there's some of that in comedy too, where being the most arch, being the most steeped in irony, the most removed from everything is an initial reaction to trying to make comedy, but the better you get at it, the closer you're getting to authenticity and to being kind of vulnerable.
Absolutely. I think that if I were to go back to my younger self, comedy or otherwise, the thing that I most would want to say to myself that I would hope my younger self to hear is, hey, relax, man. Just calm down. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Just relax.
Yeah.
Because I was so wound up for such a long time. I had such a weird pull between doing my own thing and not thinking about it, and also being very much concerned about what people thought of me. Like performing in front of audiences, when you start out and you just suck. I mean, it's very rare that people come right out of the box ready to go. You have to go through a period where you're learning how to do it and you're not very good, and you have just enough self-delusion, you get just enough laughs that it's like, okay, I'm onto something here, I can keep going.
Yeah. There's something about this particularly stand-up comedy brain.
Yeah.
I was a sort of aspiring stand-up comedy comedian after college or whatever, and I would go have a set, and I'd get down off stage, and my friends would be like, ooh, that was rough. And I would remember the one laugh.
Yeah.
It would somehow,
Absolutely.
all the bad parts on stage would sort of leave my mind, and I would focus on the one thing that worked.
Yeah.
I think that's what keeps people doing it, and you have to have
100%, because you feel like, all right, that's some proof of concept.
Yes.
That I didn't get 0 laughs.
Yeah.
It was not 0.
Yeah.
And they were laughing with me. So I'm going to keep trying. So when I would bomb, it was really hard. I guess it would be for anybody, but I was such a raw nerve in that way that it really hurt. It really hurt every time I bombed. And now I'm at the point where if I should bomb, because nobody's immune to it, I can go out and have a bad set anywhere, and it's funny now. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
It's like, oh, this is funny. I'm doing very poorly. Like these people aren't enjoying it at all. And I've been doing this for more than half of my life, and this is still happening. That's amusing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's Livewire Radio. We're talking to the great Paul F. Tompkins. Paul, it has recently been brought to our attention by way of Tig Notaro's wonderful podcast, Handsome, that you, my friend, have a bit of a reputation around Hollywood.
It's correct.
Let's take a listen.
And you know who has the best hands and fingers in comedy?
Who?
Paul F. Tompkins.
Really?
Gorgeous fingers.
Beautiful hands.
Anyone's
Beautiful hands.
Really? It's
Ever.
the first
Beautiful.
thing I notice is hands.
The man has beautiful hands.
Beautiful, beautiful hands.
Honestly?
They are nice.
It's true.
Let's get eyes on those marvelous mitts.
Yeah, it's true.
What are you? What's your secret, Paul F. Tompkins?
I was born this way, I'm sorry to tell you, and I have steadfastly refused to do anything that would put my hands in danger in any way, including playing the piano. You think a piano doesn't see these hands coming and say, let me at them?
Yeah, no.
Of course. But I keep them pristine. They're for one thing and one thing only, display.
Well,
I do like that Tig included and fingers.
Hands and fingers.
Yeah.
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 Beautiful hands, ugly fingers.
whole package. You're the whole package.
But because if Tig said you had the best hands in comedy, that could mean something else.
It's very true.
So
Yes.
you got to get the
It's very
fingers
true.
in there
Yes.
so that we
That's a
understand
good
this is
point.
an aesthetic
I
judgment.
think that makes it worse, actually.
Oh, it does.
Whichever the non-creepy one is, that's what Paul F. Tompkins has. Okay. We figured since we have a recognized nice hand haver and noted improviser here with us, Paul F. Tompkins, we wondered if you would participate in a little, I don't even know if we can call it a game or a contest, an improv exercise. This is a little activity we're calling Only Hands with Paul F. Tompkins. I'll hand this a little reminder sheet to you. The idea here, and as we practice this, as we rehearse this in the sound check, we realized just how limited the chances of success are with this particular exercise. We're going to try it anyways.
Yeah.
Here's the idea. Paul F. Tompkins, you noted nice hand haver. We would like you to try to talk our announcer, Elena Passarello, through an exercise where you're going to be describing famous hands in movies and TV and pop culture. Okay, these are things where there's a famous scene involving hands. And we would like you to try to describe what the hands are doing in the scene. And Elena, based on that description, is going to try to figure out the movie or TV show or commercial or what have you that you are talking about.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I do the things with my hands?
If that helps you,
okay,
sure.
like when spelling bee, when they spell it with their foot
absolutely.
on the thing? Okay.
Yes. It's also occurring to me that this is radio.
Yeah, whoops.
That's funny because when I was told this idea, it immediately occurred to me. I was like, it's their show. What am I going to do?
All right, here we go. Let's go with example number one, question number one on Only Hands with Paul F. Tompkins. What's this person doing with their hands?
Put your hands forward and point them towards each other. Okay, well, not point. Yes, face them towards each other, I should say. Fingers together, and then I want you to lightly make a caressing motion, making the hands go opposite each other. No, but sort of you're caressing something in front of you, in front of the hands. You're almost sort of hugging the thing with your hands.
Okay.
That's much better.
Are you getting any ideas, Elena?
Is this the Unchained Melody scene from Ghost?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. All right, now I would like you to make a sort of a praying motion, okay?
Okay.
But then angle your hands thumb side away from each other. Okay. You know what? No, put it back together. Put it back together. Angle them away from at the palms. But keep the tips of the fingers together. Just move the palms away. Keep the hands straight. Now I want you to tap your fingertips against each other. No. Keep them together. Keep them together.
Oh. I think I'm picking this like kind of this move a little bit.
Yes.
Is that like Dr. Evil?
No.
You're on the right track.
It's Dr. Evil coded.
Mr. Burns.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
Well done.
Have you worked on The Simpsons?
I did do an episode of The Simpsons. Look, if a show is going to be on for 40 years, eventually they'll get around to me.
Was that as like amazing as those of us that have just been fans of the show for years, just to get to be
wild.
around
Yeah,
them?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was like losing my mind. I didn't think about it that much. I was like, oh, that's nice, And then when I got there, I was like, this is The Simpsons. Yeah, it was a huge deal.
Yeah.
I used to live across the street from Tom Savini, the horror movie designer guy
really?
in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And 25 years ago, he got a voiceover part on The Simpsons. And this was before, I guess, he probably didn't even communicate on the internet.
Right.
To tell him that the show was airing, they sent him a bowling ball with the information on it. Did they do that for you?
I did not get a bowling ball.
Ah. He was also a liar, so he could have just made it up. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
He was also a liar.
He's a big liar. He wore jean shorts a lot.
This is we're burning a lot of bridges this week on
Sorry.
Livewire.
Nice guy.
nice enough
Nice
guy.
liar.
All right,
This
next one, Paul.
This one, you're going to be two characters. One hand is one character, the other hand is the other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I want you to point with both fingers. I want you to raise one hand, Perfect. Angle them towards each other. No. Can I give you a hand reading?
Yes.
Okay.
Give me a hand.
Then lower the other one and have it pointing up at that finger.
Oh, yeah! That's Evie from Out of This World, a 1980s television show about a teenage alien who could stop time.
You're so close.
Is it?
In so many ways.
I don't even think I know.
But
this.
remember, you're two characters.
Oh, am I David and God?
No. That's also a good guess.
It's not that?
It's not that.
Oh, it's E.T.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Paul, I feel like we put you through enough
Yeah, wow.
on your night off.
I actually enjoyed that.
Thank you so much for coming back on Livewire, and congratulations on your title as most frequent guest. Paul F. Tompkins,
Thank you.
everybody, right here on Livewire.
That was Paul F. Tompkins right here on Livewire. If Paul's live show, Varietopia, is coming to a town near you, you must check it out. I've seen it, and it is incredible. Livewire is brought to you by Powell's Books, a Portland institution since 1971. Powell's offers a selection of new and used books in stores and online at powells.com. Hey, it's Luke. Did you know Livewire is also available as a podcast? Yes, it is. Featuring the same engaging conversations, live music, original comedy, all the stuff you love on the radio show. But now you can listen when you want to, where you want to. Go to livewireradio.org to download the podcast or get it anywhere you get that kind of stuff. You're listening to Livewire. I'm Luke Burbank here with Elena Passarello. Each week on the show, we like to ask the Livewire audience a question that is relevant to that week's episode. Inspired by our conversation with Paul F. Tompkins, we have asked them a question this week. Elena, what are we asking the audience?
We want to know, what is the most unforgettable surprise you've ever experienced?
Okay, what are they saying?
They're saying hilarious, wonderful, kind of sweet things. Like this one from Kayla. Kayla says, when I was little, my parents decided to take us to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, but it was so packed, we couldn't find a single place to watch. We were on the verge of tears, and then a police officer saw us and said, listen, just pretend I'm your Uncle Dave for a few minutes. And he got them in to an NYPD family section, one of the best spots to see the parade.
Oh my
Yay,
gosh.
Uncle Dave, Officer Uncle Dave.
I'm going to use that if I'm ever in New York for the Macy's Parade. My daughter and I need to make a pilgrimage because she's 31 now, but ever since she's, been, 2, 3 years old, every Thanksgiving morning, Macy's Day Parade. We've got to watch it. It's a Thanksgiving tradition. And all we do the whole time is make fun of it.
Aw.
But we like, that's how we like to enjoy it together.
Do you watch the dog show afterwards?
The dog show is usually on, but that's when I start trying to organize the Burbank Family Fun Run, which as all of my daughter and my little brothers and nieces and nephew, as all of the kids have gotten older, fewer and fewer people participate in the Burbank Family Fun Run. I don't think it was fun for anyone except me.
It's the Burbank Forced Fun Run.
That's
Yeah.
right. So maybe this year we'll go back to the dog show. All right. What's something else truly surprising that happened to one of our listeners?
Oh, this one's wonderful. Lindsay says, right after my son was born, I was working at a truck stop. Right before Christmas, my car needed new brakes. I was having a hard time paying for them. And one of my regulars came in and asked for my keys. Took the car, completely tuned it up, new brakes, belts, oil change, the works, and then filled the back seat with presents for my son. I was in tears in the parking lot, Lindsay says, and then they handed me an envelope with $1,500 in it and said, Merry Christmas.
Oh, my goodness.
That is a Santa and a half right
I
there.
mean, that is an incredible thing to do for somebody.
Wow, that's life-changing. Well, whoever that person is, I hope that they're having an amazing day because they definitely made Lindsay's day/year.
Okay, one more shocking thing that happened to one of our listeners.
Speaking of shocking, Samantha
Okay.
says, I was at the airport once when a flash mob of dancers in airport uniforms started performing a full-on musical number about luggage. I'm trying to think what that would be, like a song about a bag, like Papa's got a brand new bag
Oh,
or
there you go.
something.
Papa's
maybe?
trying to fit his bag in that sizer thing.
Papa's got an oversized bag. But how much do you want to bet that this flash mob about luggage took place at the Portland International Airport,
It
PDX?
very much seems like something. I mean, I fly in and out of PDX on almost a weekly basis, and it's definitely an airport that prides itself on thinking outside of the airport box.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, thank you to everyone who responded to our listener question this week. We really do appreciate it. This is Livewire. We have a quick break we've got to step away for, but don't go anywhere. When we return, we're going to have some music from Meklit, who blends jazz and folk and her East African roots in a performance from her new album, A Piece of Infinity. Stay tuned for that. More Livewire coming your way in a moment. Welcome back to Livewire from PRX. I'm Luke Burbank here with Elena Passarello. All right, it is that time once again, part of the show where we play a little station location identification examination. Now, if you're not familiar, in order to win this game, our announcer, Elena Passarello, has to try to figure out the place in the United States that I'm talking about where Livewire is on the radio based on these clues that I am about to give her. Elena, are you ready?
Yes. I'm trying to gauge how hard this is by your intro, and I cannot tell.
Well, I feel like there is a clue that I will give you towards the end, which may give it away
Okay.
if you are familiar with the work of a certain comedian by the name of Yakov Smirnoff.
No. Oh, okay.
Not the name you were expecting me to say, was it?
What a country.
We'll get
Okay.
there in a moment. All right, here are the slightly harder questions. This area was actually first called Hog Heaven. In 1875, early settlers reported that 5 local men were chosen to choose a proper name for the town, but they could not agree. So the postmaster at the time, a guy named Samuel Neff, completed the official papers for the town and chose the name of his hometown in Pennsylvania. So this was already a place in Pennsylvania. And I want to mention, because there's a lot of like weird Pennsylvania towns, you know,
Like
you've
intercourse.
got intercourse comes to mind.
Yeah.
You've got industry.
Yeah.
It's not any of those. I didn't know this was a place in Pennsylvania. And let me just say, it is associated in my mind with a whole different part of the world, actually.
Okay.
Okay.
And 1870 something. So we're post gold rush. So we are west. We are in the
Yes,
west.
good thinking. Yes, we are out in the West. This
Okay.
place is part of a kind of unique bi-state metropolitan area. So you've got basically like a lot of people that are living right along the border of 2 states, and you've got 2 rival universities that are just 8 miles apart because of this.
So
And it's in the West.
we're on the Washington-Idaho line, aren't we?
We absolutely are.
And you said Yakov Smirnoff. So we
Yes.
have to be talking about Moscow, Idaho.
You are so right. I'm thinking he might have recorded a comedy special there or something.
That makes sense.
In
Yeah.
1990, that's like, hey, it's Yakov Smirnoff live from Moscow, but it's the Moscow, Idaho. That's right. It's where we were on the radio on KWSU AM. Shout out to all of our listeners there in Moscow, Idaho. Okay, before we get to our musical performance from Meklit, a little preview of next week's show. We're going to be talking to writer and podcaster Dana Schwartz about her book, Immortality, a love story. It's one of those young adult books. It's got everything: history, romance, blood, in like a medical way. Speaking of blood, we're also going to talk to Dana about her podcast that she hosts. It's called Noble Blood. Then we're going to chat with the artist and writer Jenny Odell about her book, Saving Time, Discovering a Life Beyond the Clock. Then we're going to close out the show with music from Black Belt Eagle Scout, whose latest album, The Land, the Water, the Sky, is inspired by her life in the Pacific Northwest, specifically the Swinomish Indian tribal community in Washington State. It's going to be a fun show. Make sure you don't miss it. That's next week on Livewire. This week, our musical guest is Meklit, a vocalist who mixes the sounds of East Africa and the Bay Area on her latest album, A Piece of Infinity, which was released by Smithsonian Folkways Records. She's also the host of the podcast Movement, where she tells stories of global migration through music. Here is some music from Meklit, recorded at the Alberta Rose Theater in Portland, Oregon.
Hello.
Hi.
What song are we going to hear now?
We are going to hear a song called Tizita, which is a traditional song, and it's our interpretation of it.
Excellent. All right, this is Meklit here on Livewire.
to Tizita. Narat ma to fakir. So host. Sost ma ton Tizita. Emma jealous that na be in the guitar. Emma jealous that na be in the guitar. Oh, Tizita erekik, yalergizo derash. Eskemet eresho so astalain terash. Karsu gartakize ilalla hu illalove. Subiak isamnak lumbit but is a Thank you.
That was Meklit, recorded live at the Alberta Rose Theatre here on Livewire. Her latest album, A Piece of Infinity, is available right now. All right, that's going to do it for this week's episode of the show. A huge thanks to our guests, Paul F. Tompkins and Meklit. Also, special thanks to Chris Bright.
Laura Haddon is our executive producer. Heather D. Michelle is our executive director. And our producer and editor is Melanie Sevchenko. Eben Hoffer is our technical director. Hazik bin Ahmad Fareed is our assistant editor. And our house sound is by D. Neil Blake. Deja Palikanda is our production fellow.
Valentine Keck is our operations manager. Ashley Park is our marketing manager. And Ezra Veenstra runs our front of house. Tiffany Wynn is our intern. Our house band is Jonathan Newsom, Sam Pinkerton, Ethan Fox Tucker, and A. Walker Spring, who also composes our music. This show was mixed by Eben Hoffer and Hazik bin Ahmad Fareed.
Additional funding provided by the Oregon Arts Commission, a state agency funded by the state of Oregon and the National Endowment for the Arts. Livewire was created by Robin Tenenbaum and Kate Sokolov, and this week we'd like to thank member Esther Freeman of Portland, Oregon.
For more information about our show or how you can listen to the Livewire podcast, head on over to livewireradio.org. I'm Luke Burbank for Elena Passarello and the whole Livewire team. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.